Alright guys, what's up? I'm back. We're going to be talking about Python, and how to kind of get a head start on Python if you're planning to actually get into it seriously. I'm not, completely fluent in it, but it's a programming language I'm familiar with, and I want to share with you guys. So, when we're talking about Python, Python is actually written on top of code. It's a level 3 programming language, means that it uses two other programming languages and that's how it was written. So it's not really a language, it's kind of a scripting software, a scripting program. So it was written on top of assembly and then on top of another programming language, so I'm not too sure what it is. So first of all, you're gonna need PyCharm. It's not completely necessary, but it's really good for people starting out with PyCharm, and it was made by JetBrains, which is the company that made Atom. So this is a really good software to learn with Python. And we also need the actual programming language because, as I said, it's a level 3 programming language, so you need to download it onto your computer. Okay, so now we're going to go open up PyCharm after your process. I'm not going to get into the process of downloading. It should be straightforward. It tells you what you need to do to set it up. Just make sure when you're setting it up, make sure that you set your programming language to Python, the downloaded Python. There will be other programming languages that asks you do not put it to JavaScript or anything else like that. You need Python because we're learning about Python. So anyway, there you go. You got your Python, everything. So we're good to go. So now it's set up. We're gonna have a thing like this. You're gonna have to create a file, which you can hit new scratch file, and Python. Or not scratch file, my bad. It will automatically pop up with the main.py, or you can create a folder. Okay, we're going to just ignore what's going on right here. You're going to create a folder which you can hook up to Python and make a file called whatchamacallit, and then you can hit new, a text document, and say gayfish.py. It will change it to a Python file. So we have a main.py, and we're going to first start learning about variables and simple data types. So variables and simple data types, basically this is going to be kind of the start, and you guys probably already know this, but you can use the print function. So print, and then parentheses, and in quotations, whatever you want. So hello YouTube. That's going to pop. You're going to hit the run button right here, and it's going to pop up hello YouTube inside of a console. Now, you don't need to add semicolons like this or anything to separate. That's what makes it really nice. When I used to code with JavaScript kind of got annoying because you would always get errors, and then it was usually always a time where you didn't separate with semicolon, and that was really annoying, but you don't have to do it now. The only time you have to actually worry about separating stuff, we're gonna be doing it later, but you're gonna kind of worry about it more in loops, which we're going to talk about later. But anyway, now we know the print function. We're not going to start talking about how to print, but we're going to start talking about variables. I know a lot of tutorials spend like a couple minutes talking about this, but it's not really that much. The only thing you also need to know is you can use this, which we can do hello, and we can add plus YouTube. Well, they're gonna ask, why would I have to use plus if I can just do right hello YouTube? Well, this is where variables come in. If I were to write yt equals YouTube, says YouTube, we can then write print hello plus, and not in quotations, just plus yt. It's going to pop up like that, and then you can print it, and it's going to still say hello YouTube. So we're basically using this as a variable. And the reason you would use this is if you wanted to not keep on typing out YouTube. So if you had a long line of code, you would use a variable to do that, so you don't have to keep on writing the same thing over and over again. Kind of like abbreviations like etc. and stuff like that, and it's kind of like an abbreviation for something along a line of code. And it's going to get useful to you very soon. This is what you use mostly. So now we can actually add many variables. So we can actually do, let's say first name equals shadow, and last name would equal boy. We can then use these two variables to create another variable. So we'll do full name equals first name plus, oh, not, I did the exact thing what I didn't want to do. You don't have to add in parentheses like this. Don't do that, but it just equals first name. Don't put in parentheses like I did, or not parentheses, quotations, and last name. So that's going to equal our full name. Now these are three variables we have right here, and we can do print full name, and that will give us our full name. If we want to print our first name, quickly change that to first name. You get the point, first name. Okay, so now we're going to look at the str function, which is basically what you use for numbers. So if I were to write age equals 24, my message would equal happy, and this is going to be kind of an example, but happy plus age plus birthday. You will see it will write out as a error. That's because we need to use the string function to make Python think it as or the str function, not a string, correction. This we're gonna make Python know that's a number. So str age, going to make it, we have to print it first. But if we did print message, that will actually work this time, and it's really cool. So that's, I mean, it's kind of, people would think it's useless, but if I were to do age equals in quotation marks, then we would not have to use the str function, and we can just use 24th. But I mean, if you will probably need to use numbers sooner or later. So str is really useful for a lot of cases. You probably think, oh yeah, it's not that useful, but you know, that's going to be really useful in the future. Alright, so we have enough time to talk about something else we can learn about. We're going to learn about lists. Now, lists are kind of, you know, a list. So it's going to be the same thing as a variable, just we're going to have multiple things in it. So if I were to do cars equals in brackets, let's say, and something people confuse about is like using this quotations of this. It's the same thing, but if you were to use this, and then I were to say shadows car, it will separate. So that's why you want to use quotation shadows car. That would work out. But we're going to use just this one for purposes because I don't feel like typing shift. So we're going to do Subaru, BMW, and we're also going to add maybe Nissan. Now, doing this, we can do print, and we can print it out as cars. Now, it's going to do the same thing as it would. You print this out like this. Now, that's because this is not what lists are actually for. I mean, you can use this as a thing, but we can also do something else with it. So, if I were to add maybe cars in brackets 0, get the first car. Now, Python is kind of weird. Use 0 for one, first one 1 for 2, 2 for 3. So it starts with 0 instead of 1. Basically, what we're doing in this is we're calling for the first value that is separated by a comma, and we're going to print that out. So if I print it out, it's going to put Subaru. If I put it out as 1, it's going to print out our second car, and as a BMW, which is pretty sick. We can also do print cars dot title, which would make it as a title. And we're going to do, imagine we did it like this, Subaru, lowercase. we can then do that. It's going to uppercase it. If we took out the dot title, it would not. Now, people think that some people do dot title and then just not do a self. That's not how it works. You just have to do a two parentheses at the end. So that's how it's gonna work. Okay, so now we can actually also, we're gonna undo that. We're gonna actually do a we're gonna actually add different values. So if we did that and also print maybe cars, the third one maybe. So we're gonna do 2. You can also add different values. So pretty sick. I mean that's basically lists. And yeah, we're going to be looking into lists on the next episode or next video. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video and enjoy this series. If you did, make sure to leave in the comments that you like this, tell me that, or leave a like, it doesn't matter. But anyways, make sure to subscribe for more content. I'll guys see you in the next episode.